So this is the bat from Batman Begins, 3D printed, scaled it up 120%. This is my 12 days of Christmas build for Pam's. So these are all the parts that go with the kit. Those are the underside of the, I don't know what you want to call it, the belly. Those are the vent slots. And then I've got a crude instruction sheet, kind of how all this thing goes together. Initially, I don't know who this guy was. He did it for bamboo. And I had to actually download the bamboo software, save it as an STL, import it to Chidubox, and then print it out. I did a couple of test prints at regular scale. It was very small, so I bumped it up. I think it's 120%, 130%. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look at my notes. But anyway, this will be my 12 days of Christmas build, and I've already taken some pictures to send off to the Pam's website. So let the fun begin. Alright, where do we want to start? Today is December 7th, so we are in the middle of 12 days of Christmas, and I got 5 days to finish this up. So I'm doing the bat. So this is the gun part, the arms, the cockpit kind of goes there, and then this will slide on the chassis, and I'll show you that in a minute. I had to reprint these a couple of times. These are the like shields that go on this thing here, because I had a lot of, I don't know, the way I had it oriented didn't come out right. Looked like chicken skin. Same thing with you know, these pieces here. And even though these you won't see, they go to that thing, and right now that looks pretty ugly because I had to break the wing, or whatever the hell you want to call the top part here. This originally was designed for an FDM, not an SLA, so I had to cut the joints, so joint, and then same thing on the other side, in order to bend this to look like that. So I didn't have any damn two-part epoxy stick, so what I did was I mixed up some JB Weld, you know, the gray stuff, and just filled in the cracks, and then I'll leave that overnight and it'll settle. So and then I'll sand it, and then all this will be hidden anyway, but I'll sand it down just to make it look decent. I forgot to fucking, excuse my language, I forgot to print these two parts here. The instruction manual is kind of bogus. And actually, I don't think it's an instruction manual. It just kind of shows how things go together. So anyway, I got these pieces. I don't know, they're about so big. They're in the printer right now. They should be finishing up here any time. And let me bring over this. So this is the back, if you want to call it, the shell. And then the louvers go up under here. They go from here to here. And then you got the back landing gear. Like I said, I'm going to do a little bit of touch up there, but it's coming along. And what else do I got? Get back out here. I got these, I don't know what the hell those are, panels, solar panels, something like that, but anyway, these are all the back pieces that attach to the turtle shell, so to speak, and then that'll cover it. So and right now I got the louvers are over in the paint booth, and alright, so I got all the louvers. They're lettered A through H, and then there's a dot on the opposite side, so you got E and then like E prime for the opposite side. There was actually nothing up underneath, so I made kind of an engine. I know it's hokey, but it'll sit on that center beam, and you know, yeah, a little 4-cylinder. But anyway, just to show something up underneath, you know. Let's see, but it's got the turbine. Just something to go up underneath. But anyway, all right, that's where we are. December 7th. I got 5 more days. So here we are, December 10th, and wrapping up. I'm not wrapping up, I'm getting there with the bat. So right now I'm just putting in the louvers. So as you can see, the guy, he labeled them, each one of the vent. Alright, so here we are, December 11, not 10. Today is the 11th. Tomorrow is the 12th, and that's the end of the 12 days of Christmas. So, I'm putting in the vents on the belly of the bat. Everything's painted. I got to do a little bit of touch-up, you can see there. The guy he lettered all the vents, like an A through H, and then an A through H prime. And that's kind of what I've been following. So, like I said, this thing was originally designed for an FDM with a little bit of, what do you want to call it, give. And so what I'm having to do is kind of sand off the tits of these vents so that I don't break them as I kind of pressure fit them into the slot. So you got a hole there, and then there's another hole there. I think I did but I just made up a little engine stick in there, because you know, the original bat, you had some kind of motorized gizmo to turn the blades, and that piece goes on the outside out here. So anyway, that's how it's looking. This is the top view right now. Like I said, I want to get it assembled, and then I'm going to weather it down like I did with the tumbler, I guess earlier in the year. So, and then this piece here, I got, this is the cover, I guess, that goes on top of that, and it's just all those little flaps that are present. So, that's where I'm at. Like I said, this is December 11th, and before I go to bed, I'm going to have this thing assembled and ready to do some weathering tomorrow. So, all right. All right, so this is my cockpit. What I did, I don't know if you can see it. But I used some decals I had laying around, just kind of jazz it up a little bit. It felt a little, get you seasick. So, just jazzed up the interior a little bit on the cockpit. Just threw down some decals and, you know, painted the seats, painted the consoles, painted, you know, the screens in that night vision green kind of thing. Anyway, you know, just to kind of jazz it up. So I don't have any really good screenshots of, you know, the cockpit. I just know he sits in the chair. It always looked like he was standing in the chair, but he's actually sitting up in there. So, but that's it. I just kind of threw in a little bit of different colors, and then toned it down with some dull coat. So, all right. That's the cockpit. Alright, so I got all my sub-assemblies. I'm just going to let it dry. Did a little touch up with the NATO black some areas, so I'm going to let it dry, and then tomorrow I'll do the weathering. It's all looking pretty good. That's the front part with the where the turbines go. Cockpit is ready to go. I got the canopy in the booth right now, just drying. I was going to mention this earlier. I was at the hobby shop, I guess, some months ago, and these are the Gundam decals. Yeah, they might be catering a little bit towards the Gundam stuff, but there's a lot of good non-Gundam, I don't know, what do you call it, decals, non-identifying decals. A lot of decals for like gizmos and gadgets. So that's kind of what I was using in the cockpit. So just to jazz it up. But anyway, that's how it's looking. So this is Thursday night. So tomorrow, put it together, or I should say, weather it, and then put it together and get it ready for the 12 days of Christmas. And we'll go from there. Getting down to the wire here. Supposed to have it done at 11:59 on the 12th. That's PM. So I am cutting the windows out for the canopy right now, which is here. So I got my template made, and I'm just going to use this clear sheet, cut them out, call it done. I did some weathering. I'm gonna probably do a little bit more. But basically it was some soup. But it was some oils and the burnt, what the hell is it, burnt umber and gray and white, kind of a mix, and I was just mixing it as I was going along, just kind of dirty it up, because that fucking got a glare. But that's kind of what I was using as my my reference, and that there. So we're getting there. So got about 50 minutes. All right. So I made some templates for the windscreens and that. Just kind of traced out the outline and then scaled it back, but they came up okay. Framework wasn't really kind of set up for it, because there's a little bit of overlap that you can see there. It's like the frame just needed to be put down a little bit, but anyway, no, it came out alright. So just waiting for the canopy glue to dry, so I can put a little pressure on it. This one, what the hell is it? This one here, if you can see it, it's got that little hook that snaps into the cockpit, so it needs a little pressure on it. I don't want it to pop out. But I got this thing weathered, and I think in the last clip you see my soup. So I weathered it with that. That's the oils and mineral spirits. Next, I'm going to get you dizzy, and I'm going to use the model makeup for the final touch up on the weathering, and then I'm calling it done. So we'll go from there. Alright. And like I said, I was using that as a reference, as well as that. I know that's the toy. What the hell was that? Hot Toys. Yeah, that was the Hot Toys, but it still looks pretty good. So, and then I think that was a rendering. But anyway, so that's what we're doing. So, moving on. Alright, so I'm done with the weathering. Gotta leave it like it is. Right now I got it sitting on the stand, and I need to finish the stand and paint it. And then I'm gonna permanently attach it to it. Then, you know, this thing being you know, 3D printed, even though I use the Elegoo Mars 8K ABS-like resin, I noticed it's still pretty, I don't want to say brittle. I mean, I've dropped some parts and it didn't break, but it just doesn't have the robust elasticity of, say, styrene. So, like I said, I'll permanently attach it to the stand. So I just got to finish that, and then, you know, this thing's done. But I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. You know, 12 days of Christmas for Pam's. You know, started on the 1st of December and then finished it up today. So, and then we'll go from there. So that's a pretty good build. Pretty happy with it. And we'll move on to the next one.